dance friends, I'm Christina and welcome back to Technique Tips. Today we are going to talk about the inside out hip circle. This is a favorite of mine to use in choreographies, especially ones that are big and juicy and sweeping and lots of fun. So before we get into the inside out hip circle, we're going to have to take a look at the regular big or folkloric hip circle. Here we go. So I'm going to begin with my weight on my left leg, and I'm going to stick my right foot out. This is what we call kickstand position. And my goal is to get my hips from the right to the left and back again with a weight shift in my feet, but I'm also going to bring the hips forward and to the side, and then I'm going to pull the low belly in and come back. And this is what's important because we're supporting our back here, and we're going to come back over to the right. So what we want to make sure was not happening here is we don't want to come forward, back, and then release the belly so that we're just sticking our butt out. We don't want to do that in this move here. So we're going to come forward, side, weight is on the left, pull the belly in, come back, and you're on the other side. So let's try it in the other direction. If we start to the right, now we're going to go counterclockwise and take it forward, side, pull that low belly in, hips go back, and side. And there's an illusion here that you're leaning back in the torso and leaning forward, but what's really happening is that your hips are going in front of and behind your center, and your shoulders and head should pretty much stay in one place the whole time. All right, so in a previous video, we talked about moving these side to side and taking little steps that way in what we call the circle step, but this is going to be a different way of treating this hip circle with our feet. And this one's a little more complex because we're going to be using two different rotational directions at the same time. Here's what I mean. So if I'm starting with my hip out to the left, and I'm going to go forward, side, back, side. I'm going to keep that going. Now this hip is going clockwise. As I keep this going, what I'm going to do is turn my body counterclockwise. So I've gone against the rotation of my hips, and that's why we call it the inside out hip circle. We could, of course, turn in a circle with our feet going in the same direction as our hips, but that's not what's happening here. So what did I do? All right, as I'm leaving my left side, I'm going to step the right foot to the left corner, and then when my hips get over to the right side, I'm going to step my left foot pretty much in place. Then as my hip is back on the left side, I'm going to step that hip to the corner again, the back corner this time. My weight is now right, and I'm going to step in place to end where I was with my hip out over my left leg, which is where my weight is. So I'm going to do that again. We're going to go step to the left corner, hips go forward to the right, step where you are on the left, step to that back corner, step where you are on the left. And the whole time your hips are going front and back in that circle opposite your feet. So we're going to try and do it in the other direction. So I'm over here on the right, and I'm going to just get this guy going. So now I have a counterclockwise hip circle, shifting my weight around. And now I'm going to step my left foot to the right corner as soon as I leave my right hip. So I'm going to go left corner, right steps in place as the hip goes back, left to the back corner, right back in place, and I've made that turn. I'm going to do that one more time. So got my circle going, and now left hip to the right corner, step in place, left hip to the back corner, step in place, and you are back where you started. So that is our inside out or drunken hip circle. It does actually have you Your torso does move a little bit over that one. It's kind of got that. That's kind of what gives it that drunken quality. So instead of my head being perfectly still, I do end up having to work around that a little bit to make that turn. But the head is kind of still in one spot in space, and the rest of the body just moves around underneath it. So I'm going to put some music on and we are just going to go for it. We'll do some hip circles first, just in place, and then we will try to take it around at a couple different speeds. And of course, we're going to practice it on both sides. All right, we're going to begin starting from our left side with the hips going counterclockwise. Just work that hip circle first. And it's to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. Now the to the tells you what foot you're going to step on when you go to turn it. To the right, to the left, and we're going to step right and left. Just get used to that idea. Shift the weight through and left. Step right and left and right and left. Let's try it. Step right to the corner, left underneath you, right to the corner, left underneath you. Stay here for a couple. We're just going to drill that a couple times. And we're going to go right to the corner, back, and right to the corner, hips back, and your feet are right underneath you again. And let's go again. Right to the corner, hips back, step right to the corner, hips back, 4, 3, one more in this direction, then we'll try it the other way. Right, left, right, left. All right, come over to the right and hang out here. So when I'm calling right and left, that is where your hip is headed and the foot you're stepping on at the same time. So hopefully that helps you out a little. Shoulders down, just the circles, counterclockwise. Here we go. Over to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. So we're going to step left, step right, take a few more here. Step left, step right, left, right. All right, after this one, we're going to go 2 and 1, and we step left and right and left and right. 2 in place. Around again. Step left to the right corner, right is underneath you, left to the back corner, right is underneath you, and you're back to where you started. And we go again. Left to the corner, underneath you, left to the corner, underneath you. And we're just going to do one more. Left to the corner, underneath, and left to the corner, underneath. Okay, so it looks like Daisy is now refusing to be ignored. I didn't have the heart to kick her out when I started the video, so we have a special guest star today. But that is your hip circle practice and then your inside out hip circle practice all together. So come back next week and we'll have something else for you. Bye. Hey, thanks for joining me for the technique tip of the week. And just know that you can like and subscribe. I upload one of these videos every single week with a little technique tip followed by a little drill. So please like and subscribe, and I will see you again soon.